So the Canon C50 just dropped, and it might be the camera that I've been waiting for a while. I'm a indigenous documentary DP and director. I do a lot of documentaries and run and gun commercial style of storytelling. I'm definitely excited for this camera because it's something that I've been waiting for a while. I almost pulled the trigger on an R5C like last year, but I felt like Canon was probably going to release something, so I am glad I waited because it is kind of what I was hoping for, like a FX3 style of camera, because I know that's kind of what it's compared to right now, calling it the FX3 killer. But I just think it's a different camera. Like, I think Canon realized how nice that body style is, and they copied it. Like, I don't think there's any shame in that. But um, I'm definitely excited for it because our whole production company kind of runs on Canon anyway. So it'll be nice to like, because my main like social media camera that I use is a Sony A7S III, which I absolutely love. It's an amazing camera, and has done me wonders for the past couple of years. I think I've owned it for 4 years. 4 years? I don't know. Um, it's about when I left the military, so about 2021, I think. I would probably keep it if I was still in the Sony ecosystem, but being in the Canon ecosystem, it kind of makes sense to have all of our setups because like Nate has C70, I have my C500, and um, I usually color grade everything that we do anyway, and I can match it. But I really enjoy color grading or Canon footage. It seems like it's way easier for me. But regardless, just one second, I got some notes that I want to go through. So I'm pretty excited because I had a C70 before I had my C500, and I love that body, like the small, compact body style. And don't get me wrong, I love my C500, but sometimes it can get really heavy, really fast. If it's just the if it's just the camera itself with like a lens and a battery, like the Canon battery, it runs fine. But I find the Canon C500, it's a bit power hungry, so even like a BPU 60, it doesn't last that long, like a couple hours. But if I throw that in a C70, it lasts forever. Regardless, I have to put like gold mounts on it. It gets real heavy real fast. But I'm excited because the small body, if I were to rig it up, it would be still not as heavy as a C500, even if I put a gold mount on the back or something. But I'm excited to have a camera that can just put small batteries in, like my A7S III, and just run and gun like that. I don't mind working on like the little screens. Like I have the C70 and then the C500. I just use those. I might be psycho to do that, but I just find it easier for my brain. I don't know. It is kind of hard to focus sometimes, but I enjoy the body type. I just don't like adding stuff because I find like when I add a monitor, now I have to add a gold mount or I have to add another battery to the back of that monitor, which plugs in more cables. And then I just don't like big setups, especially when you're doing documentary stuff. It just takes away from the moment. I'm like, oh, my cable unplugged. I have to plug it in and can like, let's just wait a sec. Like sometimes you can't wait. You just got to figure it out. So I prefer running kind of the stock setup on cameras most of the time. But that being said, let's just kind of go through specs for the C70. It's like the middle of fall, but it got real warm this week, so now there's tons of mosquitoes. All right, this is just off of B&H's website. So it's got a 7K full frame CMOS sensor. It's got open gate, 3x2 open gate, 4K 120, 2K 180. I'm more excited for just the 4K 120. I don't really care about anything else, especially if you're a doc shooter. You don't need 7K. Well, it's not that I don't need it. It's just it's a lot of space, especially when you're doing like long days of recording, long verite days where you're just not that you're recording nothing, you're just recording everything just in case. And doing 7K could be kind of brutal on your memory. But regardless, I probably would use 7K for like smaller projects. Like I find something we do is a lot of doc style corporate videos, which are a lot of fun, but they're really short. That could work, you know. Open gate on that. The dual base ISO 800 and 6400. I'm excited for that. Like, I mean, I've had the Sony A7 history, which is dual base 8 or 640 to 12,800. So, I mean, I kind of had the best version of the dual base. So, obviously, it's not like perfect. I think the dynamic range kind of goes down a bit when you go up to the high dual base 6400. The top handle is kind of exciting. That's pretty cool. I'm excited for that because sometimes when I'm like I want to do a shoot and I just want to like get out there and do verite stuff, it'd be nice just to throw. Oops, someone's at my house. Just go out and film some stuff. I guess. I think that's pretty exciting. And it looks like. Oops. I was watching a few videos that like people who get the camera, they get cameras early. Like I think I was watching Kofi's, but the biggest difference was like the top handle is a lot bigger. It's a lot more robust. It's a little better than the FX3, which kind of makes sense. They've that camera was out for I don't know how many years now, but it's been out for a while, so it makes sense that camera would or Canon would make that top handle a little better. Yeah, so I think the other thing that I'm kind of excited about, I have the C500 Mark II, which is an EF and PL mount camera, so a bit of an older mount. I am excited for the RF because on the C70 it's RF and R5C RF, so it's kind of nice to have those nice lenses that Canon makes. The only downside is RF is there's no one else making RF lenses other than Canon, which sucks. So it's a little bit pricier, but I know the lenses are nice. I really want to try that 24 to 105 f2.8. I think the dock lens, that would be cool. But all of the Canon lenses are super pricey. But Nate owns I think 3 of them, so I can borrow some of them every once in a while, which would be nice. And I do have EF, so I can adapt all my lenses to the RF system. I'm thinking about picking up this camera. I'm not sure yet, but it's because it doesn't really like make my life any better as a filmmaker. It just kind of like it's like a sidestep from my A7S III, so I would get rid of that, then pick up the C50. I wouldn't really call it an upgrade, but more of like a side grade. I do get the 7K open gate, but for the most part, like my A7S III can do everything that this camera can do. It's got XLR, but what I usually do for audio is I'll put in that a hot shoe mic that Sony makes. That's the one thing about Sony is they really make like products compatible, which I really enjoy. But I have that mic that plugs in, and then I'll usually plug in my track E to the person I'm trying to like record, and then I'll sync it up with my Tentacle Sync. I really enjoy doing that, or I just take these and I clap sync if it's like a social media thing. But I'm just it's kind of just a side grade. Yeah, I don't know if I call it an upgrade, but I am looking kind of forward to the open gate, maybe anamorphic. I don't know, but we do have 1.33 times anamorphic, which if you're into anamorphics, you realize that if I shoot that on a 60:9 sensor, it gives me the aspect ratio that people want, which I think is 235 to 1 or something, which might have to crop a little bit, but there's like a tiny bit of crop. But if I shot that in open gate, I think that gives me a 16:9 look. I don't know. I'm gonna test it out though. I'm excited to try it out. I like shooting anamorphic, but it gets heavy, it gets brutal. I have the Viltrox Epic anamorphics, which if you shot on those are brutal. They're heavy, but they're really nice lenses. I really want to try the Mantis, I think they're called, but I don't know if they come in RF. I don't know. There seems to be like hundreds of anamorphic lenses coming out right now. It's kind of crazy. I think Blazar makes some nice ones. Yeah, so how would it fit? The downside that I'm gonna expect is the battery life because I saw some tests with the R5C and the C50. and I think the C50 gives about like 20 more minutes of runtime, which isn't, you know, the best, but I think if I get like four batteries, I should be okay. Um, because I'm an A7S III, like I have three of them, and I never really need more than that for a full day of shooting. I'm expecting that to be a downside. No, like really bad battery life. Um, what else is the downside that I'm expecting? I mean, people complain about the IBIS. I don't know if I really would complain about that. Like, I'd never really. I think that's a preference thing. For me, it's not a big deal. I just don't know if it'll affect me, but I guess we'll find out. It could be a downside, it could not be, but we'll see. And then obviously no internal NDs, which does suck. I'll be honest there. That's not going to be fun. But we'll see how it fit in the workflow. I think it's going to fit very nicely. Like, I really enjoy color grading. I wouldn't say I'm a professional yet, but like I'm slowly making my way there, and I really enjoy color grading Canon footage. Once I get like Sony, I just feel like I have to play with it a lot more, really try to make it better. Sometimes we go out on a shoot, and I always bring my C50, but if it's like we're going on a B-roll mission, like maybe we're at a powwow or we're running around the res, and we want to get like environmental shots, I'd rather just take that than the C50, because then all I need is the lens and a mic, and like we're good, and some batteries. Like I don't think, and it's super light. So, and I love getting shots on a tripod. And sometimes with the big camera, it can be a lot to lift up and do all that. So I feel like it would fit nicely doing that with like a nice light high speed tripod. I think the reason I'm excited about this because like I wanted to pull the trigger on a C400 and a C80. Like I was very excited about those cameras, and I still am. I would love to pick one of those up in the future, but you know, I think I made a video on the C400 already, which it was too close to what the C500 already offers, and it doesn't make the upgrade any worth it. And then C70, with the C80, would be nice to get the low light performance, but I love the look of the C70 and like the DGO sensor that comes with it. Like the image quality is just really nice. I was pretty close to pulling the trigger on those two cameras, and we talked it over. Me and Nate talked it over. It just didn't really make sense, so we didn't do it. This camera kind of feels like the perfect in between, I think, because I know a lot of people are talking about the Nikon Red camera that just came out or was just released, and then Sony's probably going to drop another camera, an FX3 Mark II or something. What would that have? Like, I feel like that would be. I don't think they would put internal NDs in it because that would just destroy the FX6 or whatever version they're making next. I could see them maybe add an open gate because Canon did it. Just like, I don't know what else people would want though. Like, I feel like cameras are getting so good right now that it doesn't really matter which one you buy. They're all kind of amazing. They kind of give you all what you want. But I think at this point, it just depends on your workflow and kind of what you want to work with, I guess, or what kind of lenses you want to buy. Like, that's kind of where it's going right now. Like, because I could buy any camera right now and I'd be pretty happy with them. But I don't know. I like Canon right now. I'm enjoying shooting on it. So, which I know I'm not. That's not a very popular opinion, but that's just me. Yeah, so I'm excited to get my hands on it. I think I'll pick it up. I think it might be a camera that could work nicely into our workflow. Um, Once I get my hands on it, though, obviously I'll do like more videos on it. I'll probably do like 5 or 6 videos on the Canon C50. I keep promising more videos on gear. I promise I got more coming. I got a C500 video in the edit right now, so I'm excited for that one because that's been my favorite camera to use for the past several years. So yeah, I think that's it. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions or if you're thinking about using the Canon C50 or you want to get your hands on that, let me know what you're excited about. If not, that's cool too. If you're going to use the Nikon or yeah, appreciate it.